education began small and simple. A white schoolhouse, a black chalkboard, a single teacher. Over the years, this basic form of education has advanced immensely. School buildings have been transformed, modern classes overflow with students, and information available to schools is limitless. Materials have evolved from gritty chalk to the Uniball Kuru Toga mechanical pencil, and from an abacus to an iPhone 6. Education, it seems, is a world of difference from where it began. According to Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon with which you can use to change the world. Therefore, education has evolved into the empire it is today because it has been identified as a treasure, one that holds the power to change the world. If education is as valuable as society promotes, why then has Peninsula High School of Gig Harbor, Washington been unkempt and robbed of the funds it requires? The deteriorating conditions of PHS negatively impact health, athletics, and academics. Ryan Hanna declared in his thesis paper that, quote, "One of the first areas that makes a noticeable impact on student success is the physical environment of the classroom. This can pertain to a variety of details. It can be structure, resources, or color. All of these can play a role in determining whether the classroom will be conducive for learning." End quote. Schools that are in a destitute condition have a direct correlation to unhappy teachers and their attitudes when instructing students. Studies show that the quality of a teacher's classroom and surroundings has a significant impact on their demeanors while teaching. Not only do students and staff spend a considerable amount of time using the inadequate facilities at Peninsula, but various members of the community, including Christian Faith Center, Peninsula Youth Football and Cheer Organizations, West Narrows Football Club, and Winterfest vendors use these facilities as well. We had some staff at Peninsula give us their thoughts on their school's condition and its effect on their teaching. How have the physical conditions of the building at Peninsula been impacting the drama department?
Well, the biggest issue earlier this fall was when we say that a river ran through it. We actually had a gush of water coming through the electrical panel that runs all of the stage lights, which are 100 or 1,000 watts each. That whole electrical panel was covered with water.
Well, the school was built in 1947, and it's been kind of piecemealed together with some additions since. And I think anybody that comes in knows that we're making the best of what we have. But we're putting Band-Aids on giant wounds, and basic things like leaky roofs and things like that take precedence over, new fields and things like that. So I think our students deserve to have the best facilities, but we got to fix the building before we can even do some of those things that we'd like to do.
A poor building causes health problems to its students. This in turn causes them to be absent from school, ultimately affecting their academics. If students go to school to learn, what is the point of a school that doesn't allow them to achieve their fullest potential? We talked to a few students about the safety issues they experience at Peninsula every day.
These last weeks, being on crutches is kind of a safety hazard. I have a problem going to the bathroom, for one, because some of them do not have handicaps, and they're also gross. And then the hallways are uneven and very small and crowded.
Is the conditions, like the leaky ceilings. I think we need to fix that soon before the ceilings collapse once we have a very big rainstorm.
In addition to the danger of leaking ceilings, breaking, and falling onto staff and students, the mold and asbestos that hides in them is equally as dangerous. The scientific community has come to the consensus that when people are exposed to substances such as mold and asbestos, they develop negative health problems, particularly in the respiratory tract. In addition to making students prone to disease and internal health problems, Peninsula is also a danger to its athletes. We talked to the athletic staff at Peninsula about the dismal conditions of Roy Anderson Field.
And you want to know what I think of this grand field? It's awful. It's horrible. It's really bad. It's in horrible condition. Anywhere there's a white line, there's a divot. And then kind of the overall question would be, does it affect players? And the answer to that is totally, 100%. There's often during soccer games where a ball will be coming to a player and it hit a white line and take a nice bounce, or a dip and throw them off, and the traps are affected by that, passes are affected by that, scoring is affected by that. The game of soccer on Roy Anderson is affected by the field for sure. I do believe that it's unsafe too, because of the divots, because of just how awful it is. And so that makes a huge difference to me as a coach in the safety of our players. But yeah, it's atrocious. It needs to be fixed.
The field, I mean, because it's kind of lost its ability to kind of cushion as well as it used to and stuff. And so the health-wise and stuff, they're going to be more prone to injury due to that. And then performance is, you're going to have your cleats won't be able to work as well on that field in contrast to other artificial turf.
The turf is not as good as other facilities in the area. It's worn, there's lots of lines and dents in the field, so people running can easily buckle an ankle, fall over, buckle a knee. There's so many different scenarios, but it's not healthy because it's bad for not only, players getting hurt from falling over, but it's bad for their joints, and it's not good, it's not safe.
In order to fix the bumps and cracks of Peninsula, money must be raised for the cause. Fundraisers and donations are not far-fetched ideas, but the biggest solution would be passing a levy. Many levies in the past have been denied due to people not wanting to pay higher taxes, but it is important to remember that a community school reflects the priorities of that community. When we asked staff at Peninsula on how we can improve the school's conditions, they all agreed on one thing that needs to happen.
We have to pass a bond. Bonds means buildings, which means we would actually get funds to build on, update things, help with other schools, help the field, and that's where a lot of the big money comes from, to be able to update and make the updates that we need.
Budget-wise, there's only so much that can be done at this point. That's why they've been trying to pass the levies and bonds and things.
So is the main issue on this subject, do you think it's funding?
I think so.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of parent support to inspire change on this matter?
Parent support, yes. It's the community support that
I think eventually a bond is going to have to be passed, and some major renovations to Peninsula High School will have to be made. And again, we make the best of what we have, but it could be, should be, I think, in better shape than it's in right now. And it's nobody's fault other than the fact that we don't have the finances right now.
So would you say that overall these conditions are a result of lack of funding for the drama department and the school in general?
Oh, not specifically for the drama department, but it's definitely a lack of funding.
Recently, Peninsula High School has seen many positive changes, including the implementation of a brand new floor in the W's. In order to keep this positive change going, the community needs to vote for more levies. Once the community passes these levies and bonds, Peninsula High School will have the proper funding to implement more positive change in the building, as well as giving the teachers, students, and athletes the facilities they deserve.
I love how supporting and caring everyone at the school is, and I love how many clubs and sports you can play and how diverse our school is.
Actually, I really like the people that are always really friendly, and because I'm a freshman, I really like the fact that everybody's super welcoming and really it's like a family. It's like a really big Peninsula.
What I like about Peninsula is that I like playing sports, especially basketball. I feel more unified with the school and with all the kids who play basketball. It's just a wonderful program.
I have to say what I like most about Peninsula High School is the family environment, and that we really involve everyone and we care for each other, other students, and we are not excluding others. And I think definitely the homey family environment is what I love most about PHS.